Traveling Tyler style. Welcome to the amazing city of Mostar, Bosnia. You're in for a treat. Mostar is situated on the Neretva River and is the fifth largest city in the country. Mostar was named after the bridge keepers who guarded the Stari Most, which is the old bridge over Neretva during the Ottoman era. The name of Mostar was first mentioned in a document dating back from 1474, taking its name from the bridge keepers, the Mostari. This refers to the existence of a wooden bridge from the market on the left bank of the river, which is used for traders, soldiers, and other travelers. Since Mostar was on the trade route between the Adriatic and mineral-rich regions of central Bosnia, the settlement began to spread to the right bank of the river. In 1468, the region came under the rule of the Ottoman Empire, and urbanization of the settlement began. The Old Bridge is the symbol of the city in Mostar. It was built in the 1500s. But in the early 90s in the Bosnian War, it was partially destroyed. So a full force effort was made to rebuild it. So now it's still the main tourist attraction here. So we're gonna check it out. We're gonna walk across it. We're gonna see what this is all about. The Old Bridge, known as Stari Most, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's one of Bosnia's most visited landmarks. During the conflict of the early 90s, most of the bridge was destroyed, but in 2004 it was rebuilt and duplicated how it was originally built in order to keep the tradition of the bridge intact. The Stari Most is 13 feet wide by 98 feet long and 78 feet high. It truly is remarkable. I stumbled into a diving competition. Didn't see this coming. But I'd be doing the same thing if I was getting ready to jump off this bridge. Are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready every time.
First time?
No. I jumped off here for competition, brother.
Okay. Are you going to do a flip?
You have money for flip.
Oh, you're paying money for a flip. That makes sense.
Would you like to reward something for jumping? I go! Jordan!
Hold on, wait.
I'm 42 years old, been to 75 countries, spent the last 17 years on the road, and I'm finding out today that Mostar might be one of the best cities in the world. I really like the Balkans. I'm not surprised that I would like Bosnia and Mostar in particular, but I had no idea that this is genuinely one of the best cities in the world. And if you don't believe me, put this theory to the test. Come to Mostar. Comment on my video if you disagree. You won't. It's a guarantee. So I'm going to be spreading the word now. If you're in Europe and you're trying to take a vacation that's outside the norm, this is where you need to go. It's about a 4-hour ride from Dubrovnik, so it wasn't far. easy to get to. Obviously, I feel strongly that Dubrovnik is an unbelievable city in itself. But Mostar is what it's all about. Take my word for it. Bosnia and Herzegovina is one country with two names. It became a part of Yugoslavia, but in the breakup of Yugoslavia, it gained its independence in 1992 but kept both names. While in most cases a country would merge their names in this type of situation, maybe like Bosnia-Herzegovina. But there are other similar countries that have kept two names as well, like Trinidad and Tobago or Antigua and Barbuda, among others. The border of the Bosnia part of the country and the Herzegovina part of the country isn't clearly defined, but the majority of the country is Bosnia, with the southern tip of the country being Herzegovina. Technically, Mostar is in the Herzegovina region of the country. Mostar was hit hard during the Bosnian War in the early 90s, and while it's recovered back to an incredibly vibrant and amazing city, the marks from the war are still visible when exploring the city. It's crazy to think about that as a result of the war, Stari Most Bridge was essentially blown up on November 9, 1993. The Croatian general was deemed responsible and actually sentenced to 20 years in prison for this. This is all a part of the story of Mostar, and while tragic on so many levels, it's truly a remarkable comeback story to see how it's thriving now 30 years later. Bosnia has 3 official languages: Bosnian, Croatian, and Serbian. They're all very similar and they all understand each other. I'll spend the rest of my life telling people to go to Mostar for everything it has to offer for a traveler. Everybody's got their opinion on the greatest city in the world. Some people will say Paris, some will say London, some will say New York, some will say Tokyo. I'm gonna say Mostar, Bosnia. Mostar has everything you could ask for. I mean, this place is popping. It's got the small town feel. I mean, it's a day trip. I don't think you could spend a week here. But it's incredible. The currency over here is the mark, but they take euros. I gave the diver 10 British pounds. I gave someone else $5 US. So they take a little bit of everything, but the currency is the mark, and the mark is 2-to-1 to the US dollar. Mostar is actually very affordable. It's kind of cheap, especially after coming from Dubrovnik, which was very expensive. So that's another perk, and that's another reason to come here. It's affordable. It's one of those places where you can eat for relatively cheap. You can drink for relatively cheap. And you can get over here for relatively cheap. I mean, it cost me like 35 euros for a round trip bus from Dubrovnik. Totally worth it. I'm showing you a different side of Bosnia, and Mostar in particular. I'm on the back streets. I'm in the residential neighborhood. Not even really sure how I ended up here, but it's interesting. So if you ever wondered how people live in Mostar, you're looking at it. Walking across the bridge in Mostar, the old bridge, the historical bridge, looking around like, man, I'm just a dude from Seattle Never had travel aspirations. Never did. When I was a kid, I never really thought I was going to be a traveler. I was a baseball player. That went down in flames, and I stumbled into this travel game. I don't know how I ended up here. I still don't really understand, you know? Been doing this for 17 years, traveling the world, living out of a suitcase. If you name a city, there's a pretty good chance I've been there. I don't know how I got so lucky. I don't know why I got so lucky. Caught a few breaks. But you know, the moral of the story is when you get a crack in the door, you kick the door down. So what I'm saying is, you know, I never dreamed of going to Bosnia. Never thought it was actually a realistic thing. But now I'm here. Now I'm here. 75 countries in, 25 to go, on a mission to 100. I mean, this is Traveling Tyler style. This really is. This is why I set this goal, because I understand how hard it is to accomplish it. This is my life. This is what I'm about. Mostar, Bosnia. Traveling Tyler style. I'm out.